Call the meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Belsley.
Here.
Blunier.
Here.
Dobb.
Here.
Hare.
Here.
Herman.
Here.
Kaufman. Rainson.
So we do have a quorum.
Yes.
Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Before we get into the body of the meeting, I just wanted to let everybody know that the mayor is recovering slowly and sounds better each time I talk to him. So we certainly want to wish him well. He expects to be back for the next meeting. So that's that update. We have no public hearings tonight. No one with a presentation or special report. Public comments tonight. Anyone from the audience want to address the board? If you would just step to the microphone, give your name and address.
My name is Brenda Reed. You want my home address? I live in North Pekin, but I'm here from the Quality Inn in town
Okay,
here.
that'll help us
Okay.
out. Thank you.
And I would like to say I legally don't represent anybody personally, professionally, or other. First of all, I'd like to ask, what is the definition of a trustee? It's an individual person or a member of a board given control or powers of administration of property in trust with a legal obligation to administer it solely for the purposes specified. You, the trustees of Village of Morton, have a great opportunity to help govern a truly great community. And I want you to ask yourselves this: can you think of a community with a greater potential than Morton? A few points I wanted to make to put it into perspective is, we are an easy on, easy off exit, and that's extremely important to any out-of-town visitors. We're at two intersecting interstates, Interstate 74 and 155. We're 30 minutes from Interstates 55 and 39, all of these being very heavily traveled routes. We're 10 minutes straight shot by interstate to downtown Peoria and all of that it has to offer. 30 minutes from Bloomington Normal, 60 minutes from Springfield, 2.5 hours from St. Louis and Chicago. We have the Peoria Airport, Bloomington Airport, Peoria Civic Center, Vianney Dome, Eastside Center, Louisville, and on. It brings in hundreds of thousands of people to this area here. We have an awesome area. To accommodate these people, we have 7 hotels ranging from overnight to extended stays, all of which are offered at 7 different budget levels. Now, the Village Board on January 4th, 1999 approved an ordinance that was adopted from the state implementing a tax on hotel rooms. In Title 3, Chapter 22, Section 11 of this ordinance, it states, the use of the receipts, the amounts collected by the village pursuant to this chapter shall be expended by the village solely to promote tourism and conventions within the village or otherwise to attract non-resident overnight visitors to the village. So, 2012, the village promoted a city employee to the position of Director of Tourism with a sole responsibility promoting the growth of tourism and creating overnight stays in Morton. This position has an approximate annual cost of $65,000 a year, including benefits. And the village also acquired a building for the purpose of the tourism office at a cost of $224,000, including the remodeling of part of that building. All this was paid for with the tourism funds, I understand. So with all this going on, why isn't Morton doing more business? Why aren't our hotels thriving? Morton hotels should be operating at a minimum of 73% occupancy most of the time. They're not. We don't have any billboards out on the interstate, and we have fewer events now in town than previously. We're asking the village to not only do what it's supposed to do with the tourism funds as laid out in the ordinance, but also what is obviously a smart thing to do with these funds. If the village would start caring about not just the hotels, but the interstate corridor and all the businesses that are located out there, like they do the downtown district, then everybody would benefit. It doesn't take a rocket scientist to realize that first you have to get them off the interstate. Think about when you take a trip somewhere. What exit do you get off at? Do you get off in an area that looks safe and well-maintained? Do you get off in an area that has multiple businesses to choose from? Exactly. So first we need to get them off the interstate, period, and I can't stress that enough. We need to get them before they go to Peoria, before they go to Bloomington, before they go to Springfield. And then for a first glimpse that they should see should be one of a clean, safe, well-maintained, down-home community with plenty to offer. We don't want them to just settle for having a meal or spend a night or so. We want them to return, to come back because of their experience they received here. People don't come to Morton because a new steakhouse opened downtown or that we have music as they're strolling downtown. That's not why they come here. They come to visit friends and family, to attend a function or specific event, or they're passing through and it looked like a good place to stop. So the sooner we realize this, the sooner we all benefit. The sooner we start spending the tourism money where it's intended to be spent and not spending it downtown district, we're all going to benefit. The sooner we have a tourism director that is working solely to promote tourism in Morton, like they were hired to, then the sooner we all benefit. And why aren't we doing more to promote new growth out in that area where the hotels are? Let's face it, the majority of travelers that come off the interstate, they're not going to make it downtown probably their first visit. Their first visit is probably going to be out there in the interstate area. But what we have out there is what's going to bring them back and then downtown. It just appears like the city is doing, making it difficult for possible new business to come in. Like we're fighting the prospective business. For instance, I don't understand why the city is trying to eliminate all new high-rise signs. I don't understand that. I don't understand the reasoning behind it. It makes no sense to me. How else do you get people off the interstate? You know, when we travel, we look for these signs. And first you get them off the interstate and into the hotels. Then the hotels get them downtown into the restaurants and the shops and your other attractions. And that's when the downtown businesses win them over with their inviting atmosphere and their quaint little downtown setting. That is how it's done when everyone works together. And if people can't see this or can't agree with it or don't want to make this their goal, then they shouldn't hold office for a city or be on a committee or group that deals with that. And if we can't separate our official public duties and responsibilities with that of your religious affiliation or racial preferences or private business connections, then they shouldn't hold a public office either. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you for your comments. As you probably know from reading the rules about the time limit, we did let you go over a little bit, but also it also mentioned that not expect an answer from the board tonight. This is not the venue for that part, so thank you.
Bill Welk, 1800 North Morton. I know the thing by heart, but we tried to get it on the agenda and the city attorney refused. So I've got that letter that we submitted twice. The tourism board didn't know about the acquisition, but let's go through it. Your contract, on the 5th, the resolution 1815 to buy the Apostolic Christian Church. You paid $625,000. The school paid $220,000 into that. The school then gets $150,000 back if they're before 2035 if the school locks down. If it locks down after 2035, the school board still gets $100,000 back of our money. The Apostolic Church gets 25 to 30 parking stalls that the city people will pay for the maintenance of for eternity. Okay, that's right in the contract. I've got it all here. If anybody wants to see it, we're having a press conference tomorrow morning at 10:30 at the Days Inn. The appraisal. Professional appraisal. I paid $1,500 for. It was done by Mary from Peoria. The appraisal comes in, if it was 11 buildable lots, at $265,000. If it was buildable. But with the parking easements from the school board and from the Apostolic Church, it's worthless. I had a broker's opinion done. That opinion came in at 180 to 200 by Caldwell Banker. You paid $625. I can't find out if you got an appraisal. I asked for public information. They said no document exists. Did you guys get an appraisal? You don't have to answer, but I understand. You didn't, otherwise I'd have it. I've spent $1,700 for public information requests. So I have to ask the question, why? Why did we pay $625,000 for something that's worth $200 or less? Why are we taking care of a parking lot for the rest of our life for the Apostolic Christian Church? Why did we take $305,000 from the tourism fund, which is solely for the purpose of overnight stays? Why did we take that money from them? I don't know. And you're not going to answer, and I understand that. I wouldn't either. So are we mixing church? Are there people on the board that are Apostolic Christians? They all voted yes on everything. They never abstained from voting. They never said it's a conflict of interest. Why? Then the contract says that the Apostolic Christian Church will tear the building down and take care of it. Okay? You want to see all the pictures of Morton's trucks and backhoes on the site? Who gave him permission to? That was Mr. Ludermilk's orders. Laudermilk, whatever. Why? Why are they there? I don't know. Because the church's responsibility was actually to put seed down. I got backhoes, trucks, and then we took away the grindings, okay? The grindings we don't know as of today, because we don't have the report back, whether it was asbestos in the grindings. Was an asbestos remediation done on that church? If not, the state's going to come in. There's questions here to answer. You don't spend $625,000 on something worth $200, take $305 from the tourism, and call that legitimate. You don't take $350,000 when the Apostolic Christian Church decides to move and do a turning lane for them on an entity that'll never pay any taxes. Again, I ask, are there people on the board here that are Apostolic Christians? They voted for that too. Every vote was 6-0. Everybody voted for it. So totally, we have a gift of $775,000 to the Apostolic Christian Church. I'm Catholic. If you gave it to the Catholics, I wouldn't allow it. And this was done by your board with the help of Mr. Spangler, Mr. Ludermilk. And if somebody did this, used vehicles on private property, they would be immediately asked for administrative leave without pay, and then they'd be fired. Now, why you didn't let us on the agenda, I don't know. We wanted to talk about this, but you didn't. So, like I say, you're invited to speak to the public tomorrow at 10:30 at the day's end. Thank you for your time, and would like an answer why we spent $405,000 extra dollars and gave it to the Apostolic Christian Church. Was it collusion? I don't know. Who set the price? It was done in executive session twice. You were there, Ginger, before this was brought to contract.
Thank you for your comments. Any votes were taken not in executive session, I can tell you that. I also believe that there's staff members that have tried to answer your questions. I'm not going to get into a dialogue about it.
No, you've got very good staff, and she's given me everything she's got.
Thank you.
And I've spent $1,700 to get it. I spent $1,500 for the appraisal just to bring it to your attention. And if this is the way you operate, I want out. I want out of Morton. Everybody should want out.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Hearing none. Consent agenda tonight consists of approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of February 6th and approval of the bills. Is there anyone from the audience that would like something pulled from tonight's consent agenda? If not, any trustees want to pull anything or a motion to approve?
So moved. Second.
Thank you. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Belsley.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes. Again, the village president has told me he has an emergency preparedness report, so we will all look forward to that at the next meeting, hopefully. Village clerk?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you. Village administrator?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you. Chief of police?
You know, I didn't have anything on the agenda, but we were pretty busy last night, and we've talked about this before with the public and putting notification in the paper. Just want to remind everybody that with their vehicles or their house, we need to lock it, take it, and hide it. We had 2 motor vehicles stolen in our town last night, and numerous vehicle burglaries where they get into it. The vehicles that were taken were unlocked with the keys in it. So, you know, we've got to do a lot better than that. Like the lady said initially, we got a good town here, but we can't live with our heads in the sand. We've got to be cognizant of what's going on, and that it is easy to get in and off of our town, but not always people that want to do good things do that. So, you know, just want our community to be cognizant of what they're doing.
Thank you for
Thank
that
you.
reminder. Corporation Counsel?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you. Director of Fire and Emergency Services is not here tonight.
He's teaching a class,
Okay.
so he said he would make it.
Okay, thank you. Director of Public Works?
One item tonight, Your Honor. Tonight, I'd like to ask for acceptance of proposal from Altorfer Incorporated for a new non-binding, this is a government lease, a 5-year lease on a 926M Caterpillar wheel loader with a guaranteed buyback of $85,000.
Second.
Sam, and second. Any discussion?
I would like to add that we accepted proposals from three companies. In the end, we accepted all 5-year leases from 3 companies, and in the end, Altorfer was the lowest price over the 5-year term. We do have an existing wheel loader that at the end of February, in a week, a balloon payment comes due. Our intentions all along were to re-up that. It is in the budget, and it's shared between 4 departments.
And we've been doing that 5-year lease process for quite some time, and that seems to work well.
Yeah, there is an advantage to, you know, the government lease over, you know, private corporations having to buy a machine and paying the taxes. We are find some really good deals with the government lease programs.
Thank you. Okay, any other discussion?
I just have one comment. I was talking to Craig about his process he went through, and it was very well vetted, so he did get the best value for the city on that.
Thank you. Roll call.
Blunier.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Okay, planning and zoning officer?
I don't have anything on the agenda, but I was reminded of something today when one of the gentlemen running for school board came in to ask about sign placement.
Sure.
And I thought, you know what, I probably would be well served to mention that tonight so that everyone knows it. When placing the signs on a residential area, for example, if there's a sidewalk, really anywhere, residential, commercial, whatever, if there's a sidewalk, they need to be on the private property side of that sidewalk. And if it happens to be in an area, and we have some where there aren't sidewalks, then it needs to be at least 10 foot behind the curb. And this would also, there's also a lot of, you'll probably see them in your neighborhood, signs, whether it be roofing or siding, whatever, gutters. They put the signs up, and the ordinance is intended for those to be there while they're working, not get the job and then 4 months later show up to do the job. We haven't gone out and pursued those yet, mainly because I don't know where I would start, but there are a lot of them. But that needs to be, that way we can get the word out and everybody's educated and has fair warning.
Size of those two, Roger, do you want to comment on the size?
Size, most of the, like the real estate size signs that I'm talking about, that's like the political signs, that's the size. Now, if you get into like the 4x8, that has to be on a commercial property, not in a residential area, so.
At one point, we had that sign ordinance information on the TV. Maybe we can get that back on there.
I know the people that do that.
It's good to know people in high places.
It is. I don't have any people, but it's good to know people. So.
That's good, that's good. Thank you for that reminder.
Sure.
Timely. Okay, village trustees, trustee Belsley.
Nothing this evening, Your Honor.
Thank you. Trustee Lanier?
Just two things. The downtown commission met and they've made a recommendation for 6 facade grants. You all have that in front of you. And I'd like to make a motion that we approve those.
Second.
Any discussion or anything you'd like to add to that, Ron? Questions? Okay, roll call?
Dobb.
Yes.
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes. And my other comment was, we do miss the mayor, and we look forward to him coming back, but you've done a tremendous job in his absence, so well done.
Thank you. Very nice. Trustee Dobb?
Nothing tonight, Your Honor.
Thank you. Trustee Hare?
Just want to make one quick comment. Everybody is welcome, obviously, to make public comments, but it's distressing to me when people lob accusations out that are, 1, unfounded, 2, untrue, and also have a history of lack of communication with the board. So, you know, we have access to our phones, emails, writing. We'd love to have those conversations. So it's a little bit difficult sometimes to sit here when you serve the community and put the hours in that we do and hear some of that stuff. And so I just want to make sure that, you know, I'm going to stand up and defend our village employees when they need to be defended. I'll also correct them when they need to be corrected as well. So I just wanted to be clear about that tonight. That's it.
Thank you. I agree. I know that there's been a lot of questions for our staff. The venue for responding to questions is not necessarily in a board meeting. We're here to do the people's business as it is shown on the agenda, but I know there have been many attempts to answer the questions that are brought up, and yes, it is okay to you know, speak at an open meeting, but again, a lot of these things can be responded to in a different venue. So I guess that was my part of the agenda. Yep. Trustee Coughlin is in California. I spoke with him today and told him it was warmer here than it was there, and dealing with the rains in California, but we miss him. He's not here tonight. Okay, we do need one closed session tonight for the purpose of discussing collective negotiating matters between the village and its employees or their representatives. We do not expect any action following this closed session tonight. So I would entertain a motion to go into closed session.
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Thank you. Discussion? Roll call?
Hare.
Yes.
Herman.
Yes.
Belsley.
Yes.
Blunier.
Yes.
Dobb.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you, everyone.